So hello children, today we are going to see physical quantities and measurement. This is a class 6 topic in your physics. Same topic you will have again maybe in class 8 where we do density, relative density. You will have in class 9 almost same thing, little bit more but in more detail. So here we start to learn two basic things children. Number one is what are physical quantities, we will see here, and what is measurement. This is the definition of measurement, and we will see why we need a measurement. Okay, suppose you don't measure properly, what will happen? I'll tell you many things from our everyday life and from my real life experience what we have seen. So this chapter you may have done in your school, but here we will do it in a different way. We will learn the practical consequences of this measurement and physical quantities. And actually you see physics and maths are interrelated. These two topics later on we will see when we do leads to a topic called mensuration and arithmetic in maths. Okay, mass, kg and all, work power, okay, work time, there we will see. Okay, so commercial arithmetic and then mensuration we will see lot of application of this. So actually maths and physics are integrated. So physics enriches maths and maths enriches physics. So you may think of this in terms of a mathematical topic also. Okay, because we teach lot of things in mathematics also. So here we start. What is first is your physical quantity, the process. So physical quantity is all the quantities that can be measured. Many things I have got from my everyday life. I'll show you I have got everything. So which you can measure. And secondly, now what is measurement? The process of finding exact value of an unknown quantity by comparing it with a known fixed quantity. So this we will see when we go ahead in this chapter. So measurement is finding the exact value of unknown quantity by using a what we can call it known fixed quantity. Like this is a scale what we use generally in our school. So there are many other instruments which we use to measure various physical quantities. So here first question arises, why we need measurement? Okay, so tailor, when you go you will see the tailor uses your measuring meter like this. So he can take your length. Okay, and since it is plastic and all, we will see it can be curved, so you can take the measurement of your waist. Okay, so how we measure we will see in the part where we learn how to measure the length of a curved body, okay, like our waist. So this is what a tailor uses for measuring the length of your, okay, where how long the shirt will be. Okay, so generally they use this. Then doctor uses for height, okay, to find height, weight. Okay, we have the weight machine also at home, also we keep and we monitor our weight. Then temperature. So there are two types, we will see later on. There are two types of thermometer. Number one is what we call a laboratory thermometer, where we will see it measures from some minus 10 degree or minus 20 degree to around 110-20 degree. So this is a laboratory thermometer. Generally I measure the temperature of the room when the AC is on, how much it is decreasing. So sometime when I have to check whether the fridge is working properly or not. Then this is what we have. Second thing, we have clinical thermometer, what we call doctor's thermometer. So when we are sick, we see the temperature of a human body. So this is generally from 35 degrees Celsius to 42, because our human body temperature does not go beyond that. We will see 98.6 degree Fahrenheit is our normal body temperature. If you see in Celsius it is 37 degree. And then boiling point of water, and all this we will see in the third part of the video in detail. So there are many more things. Okay, grocers you go, they'll generally in grocery shop when you go, you see they take the weight. Okay, whatever rice, pulses and what you all buy. So these are part of our life children. So many things I'll show you over here children. Suppose uh, if we don't measure correctly, lot of problem will be there. So what it helps us, measurement, it helps us to make a correct judgment and avoid wrong, okay, wrong decision. Lot of things when you buy a house, this is class 9 I was doing, we see the carpet area, super build area, there are various ways of finding the area of the flat which you are going to buy. So if you know physics, if you know mensuration in maths, it will be easier for you. Then there are many other things which we measure and all, I'll show you. So that's why I told you learn something more. So we have various physical quantities, okay, and they are derived into two things. We will see in detail. Fundamental physical quantities, they are unique and they do not depend on any other thing. We will see there are 7 physical quantities. Basically we will see length, okay, mass and time. Different system we have, MKS, CGS, FPS. Okay, then we have derived. So here just I'll remove this sphygmomanometer and you can see they are derived from fundamental quantities. So various other thing I'll tell you. We need this. So now if you go to the doctor, you will see two things. This is the stethoscope they use nowadays. You will see many doctors, okay, they hang like this, okay, and they make a lot of videos regarding what problem we are having. So I'm not a doctor, I keep this. And this is sphygmomanometer, children. This is very important. These are all instruments. We measure things. This measures our pulse rate, how our heart is working. This measures our blood pressure, very important thing. Till now we had 4 deaths in my family. My father died and my eldest brother was the first to go, and they both died of brain hemorrhage, and the reason was high blood pressure. So if this instrument we have had at that time, then we could have avoided or given medicine, okay. So this is very important. So, and here if you see, so this is called sphygmomanometer. I have kept it for me personally and I check, because you need a stethoscope. You will say, sir, why is having this? So both has to go together. We hear a sound when our systolic and diastolic pressures, you will see from beginning to end, when we hear the sound, we know like 120 above, generally I have my upper pressure, and lower is around 80. So we hear a sound. So you need to put it just below the where we put it in our arms. So this is for measuring our blood pressure, and unit is very important, children. You will see kilopascal this side, but generally we measure in millimeter of mercury. You will see this in geography also, children. Okay, so this is also derived unit. You will see pressure is mass by volume, and there are different units we have. So as I told you in this chapter, what we will see, I have shown you thermometer, I have shown you tape and the scale. Okay, then for measurement of length we have few more things, children. What we call vernier caliper, okay, a slide caliper. This was made around World War II because they wanted, one ordinary scale measures up to 1 millimeter accurately. This measures up to 1/10 of a millimeter, and screw gauge, okay, this screw gauge measures up to 100 part of a millimeter. So all this you have in class 9. So since I'm not using it, it got little rusted, but this is working fine. So vernier caliper up to 1/10 of a millimeter. This ordinary scale measures up to 1 millimeter, 1/10 of a millimeter, 100 part of a millimeter. Next we have for measuring weight, I'll show you. Generally this I bought from Delhi. Okay, this is up to 50 kg you can weigh. This, if you can see, is up to 250 gram. We use in laboratory. So this is up to 250 gram spring balance, and this is up to 50 kg, but this measures weight. So we will see for mass also. Physical balance, this is spring balance. There is a spring inside and you can see a little bit. Okay, so this we used to measure the empty cylinder or gas cylinder when we used to get to check the weather is right or not. Okay, then we have few more thing, and I also have, see, a very important now, lot of people are getting diabetes. So I have my personal glucometer. Okay, we have the lancet where we prick, then the strip, and this. So India is now having lot of people, those who are suffering from blood sugar. Okay, so I measure. So this is also an instrument. Then different units we have, children, that I'll discuss when we do, but generally most of the thing you don't get in the book. You have to make your own personal study. So what is the how much blood sugar should be there in blood. Another very important instrument which I have, which I use and people generally don't have at home. If you have AquaGuard or Kent, this is called TDS meter, total dissolved solids. So how much it is in water, it's very important, children. We take, and so this is a TDS meter. I bought for 500, now you will get for around 200 in Amazon and Flipkart. So they are very important. As soon as you put in water, you know how much is dissolved salts. It's a very important thing. If it is quite high, then there is a screw and nut in the AquaGuard account. You will see that mechanic will show you, and if I make a video, I'll tell you. It's very important, you can adjust that. So TDS meter measures how much is your total dissolved solid in your water. So it's very important. You can do a study about that, and you can have this instrument. You take water, ordinary tap water, the outlet where the water comes out from the AquaGuard account, and the water which you use for drinking, you can check, and you can do more studies. They say that the right TDS number should be around, so it's in part per million. I think milligram per liter, it converts to part per million. So in higher classes, you will understand, should be around 50 to 300, around up to 300 it's okay. More than 1000 and all, it's not good to drink such water. So it's a very important thing, because too less also is bad and too high is also bad. So therefore we have adjustment in our water purifier what we use. So, and in fact, so these are the various things we have, various units to measure various things. I showed you scale for length, mass. So here we have for mass, if you see kilogram. So generally I have beam balance at home. Okay, long back I bought for 25 years back. Many of my thing. Then there is an old system also, I'll show you, where we use share in India, share and pound in England. That also I have got, which I got from my grandfather. Okay, then we have beam balance. Okay, where we measure the, so this is around 30-40 years old. Okay, so we use to find the mass of a body. So while teaching this part, okay, third part video, how we measure from a beam balance the mass of a body. So this is the beam balance. Generally we will lot of things to check whether what we have bought the item is right or not. So various things we have for measurement, children. Okay, so when I go to the other part of the chapter, we will talk about them in detail. So this was the first introduction, why we need them, and what are physical quantities, all that can be measured. I showed you various things. They are all different physical quantities. Generally they are derived. Length, mass, I showed you, and time, they are generally fundamental. They are unique. They do not depend on anything. And derived unit, most of them, like I showed you, pressure. Okay, so if you see TDS, it is amount of salt in a given volume of water. They're mostly, some of them are related to density. Then last but not the least, before I go to the topic, in light, I was just seeing, there is unit for brightness of light, children. How bright a light. There is unit for bitterness of chili also. So actually I was telling, I wrote here Sir Isaac Newton, his main book, if you see, when he was doing a lot of research in physics, he said there are two things you must know. Like, what are physical quantities? You know what is qualitative, what are they, but second thing is quantitative, how much. So he said it's very important that you don't only know about physical quantities, what I showed various things, you can quantify them, children. You can measure them. Okay, how much temperature? So I use a thermometer. Okay, whether my AC is working properly or not, or my fridge is working or not. So we need to measure it exactly. So until your knowledge of measurement is perfect, your knowledge of science is half. So just I was checking, whenever we buy the brightness of a light. So I don't have much time and need over here to explain. So this is generally, we will see the fundamental unit of brightness of light. We will see candela, but this is in lumens and lumens per watt. So that you can see I have got here, this is 90 lumens per watt. So generally 9 watt LED bulb is around 900 lumens. So 900 lumens you divide by 9 watt, you get around 100 lumens per watt. And just I was checking in the net, Philips has made a bulb which is around 200 lumens per watt, means it's very efficient. And our ordinary incandescent lamp, which is now outdated, was around like 100 watt, used to give 1600 lumens, so around 16 lumens per watt. So now we have got 5-6 times, okay, some bulbs 10 to 12 times more efficient, consuming less electricity and giving more light, so the efficiency is more. So you can pause the video and copy, and then we will go to the next part of the chapter. So here we see few more instruments. So I have written down it for you, where we measure them. They are very important part of our life, children. So since we are doing measurement and physical quantities, so what is a rain gauge? You will see in geography how much rain is collected. Okay, if a rain falls, so one example I'll give you. Few days back Delhi had a lot of incessant rain, then Mumbai, before that I was in Calcutta. So every place, so you will see 100 millimeter of rain in a day, means around 10 centimeter. What is a 10 centimeter, children? Take your any scale, okay, take your scale, okay, and see 10 centimeter. Small scale is of 15 centimeter. 10 centimeter you may see is around this much, okay. This scale is around 30 centimeter, big size scale. So you have small scale 15. So if you collect the water, it will be collecting. So we have a funnel like arrangement and water is collected. So in an area, how much rain falls, means 10 centimeter of water would have accumulated here in 24 hours if water does not evaporate, if it does not flow, and if it is not absorbed by the soil. Then 10 centimeter of rain will be there, because here evaporation is avoided, it will not be absorbed and it will not flow. So this is called rain gauge. So this is a very important thing for geography. So what I am talking about is measurement. We are measuring rainfall. There's another instrument called wind vane, you will see. It gives you the direction of the wind. If you have gone to aerodrome and if you see plane flying, before that you will see there in airport, wind vane is there. There's another instrument called anemometer. So these are all in geography. You'll see, it tells you the wind speed. What is the velocity of the wind, like especially in cyclone and all, whether it is right for the flight to take off or land or not. Okay, so this gives direction, this gives you wind speed, this gives you amount of rainfall. This is what you will do in geography. So this is also measurement, children. They are also, you can say, physical quantities. Okay, but they are not directly. So here you see amount of rainfall, how much water volume is there, or height over here, actually in a day or in a fixed time. Okay, direction, it tells you which is the direction. Next is, if you have a vehicle, you will see two things in your vehicle. We have speedometer. What is the speed of the vehicle? Generally it is in kilometer per hour. You will see it is showing, the needle is showing the speed. There's another thing down, you will see odometer, how much distance you have traveled. So these are the various things, and we measure them in our everyday life. So next part, part B, we will see what are units, okay, what are the things we should see, details about them. In part 2 and part 3, as I have told you, we will see more details. So thank you, children, for watching this video.